Welcome to Never a Dull Moment. I'm Greg Blythe, and today we're going to be talking about sink bridges and stone holders. If you're new to Whetstone sharpening, then you might not be familiar with this, but if you've looked into sharpening and you've looked into doing it with a whetstone, you know that you have the ability, instead of sitting the stone on your counter directly, to upgrade. And by upgrading, you have several devices that are in front of you, and today we're going to talk about a lot of the name brands that are out there that most knife sharpeners have heard of. And then we're going to talk about some off brands that we've gotten from the internet that are a cheaper alternative, just so we can do a comparison. So before we get started, please, if you are subscribing to the channel and you haven't hit that notifications, please hit that notification so that way you will find out when the next videos are coming. If you find value with this video, I'm asking you to please hit that like button, smash it for me, and let YouTube know that what we're doing is good. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. It will let you know when we're doing stuff. We try to be regular on Friday nights, but we've got some new stuff coming up that we're going to be doing on Tuesdays. We're going to try to bring some newbies into knife nerd status. And so we're going to be having some videos come out for some people who don't quite know everything they need to know to become a knife nerd. So let's first differentiate between what is a stone holder and what is a sink bridge. So I have in front of me some stone holders. So this is something that you would actually take a whetstone and you would sit it in, and it lets it sit nicely. And you're able to secure it by tightening it. Okay? And in that way, you're holding the stone. It has its own feet, so you can sit it on the counter directly, and you can do your job, or you can sit it on top of something else. These work particularly good if you have an odd shaped stone, and if you get into Japanese natural stones, which we'll have a video coming soon. Japanese natural stones do not always come perfect because they're natural, and a stone holder is a really good way to secure the odd shaped stone. And so we have a couple of them to look at. We don't have all of them on the internet, I'm sorry, but we do have some to kind of let you know about in our experiences. And other than a stone holder, we have sink bridges. So we have the Naniwa, the Bob Kramer, the Tojiro. We also have the Suehiro. Then we have the very famous Kasfly. And then we have a knockoff, which is DMT Tools. And so let's talk about like what they're supposed to do. So a sink bridge is literally a bridge that goes across your sink so that you can put the stone on top of it. And as you're working and adding water and debris is leaving the stone, it's able to rinse right off into your sink. So you do make a mess. Your spouse is generally not happy about it, but at least the mess is contained to the sink. So let's go ahead and talk real quick about the ones we have here and the pros and cons of each. So the first thing I want to point out is that I have all of them but one sitting comfortably on the counter. You will notice that the Bob Kramer, okay, when it goes down on the counter, it doesn't move. Like, I'm sorry, it doesn't move. So this is very nice to sit on your counter if you do not want to put it on the sink. This is the Tojiro. Same thing, doesn't move. It's got some legs, some feet underneath it. That's awesome. The next thing we have is the Suehiro. And once it's down, you can push, but it has some give. I mean, it really does, like, you'd have to give it some push for it to give, but it does have a little bit of slide. Even though it has feet, it does have some slide when it's on the counter directly. The Kasfly. This thing is a monster. It's heavy duty. If you know it, and you know it is a tank. You could destroy a building with this thing. It is amazing. But unfortunately, when you're sitting it on your counter, it has no feet. So as much as it sits up high, it would be nice if they would turn around. Of course, you can do it yourself. You can add some sticky tape, some rubber feet. It would have been nice for the price point if they would have done it themselves. And then you have the DMT. So the DMT Tools, this is by, it just says Whetstone holder, DMT Tools. So this is kind of a knockoff of the Kasfly. It is 1/3 the price, and it has feet. Pretty simple thing. And it does not, I mean, it moves like the Suehiro, but it does have a little bit more resistance versus just sliding around. Okay, so the one that you'll notice that does not sit is the Naniwa. The Naniwa does not have the ability to sit on the counter. It would teeter due to the fact that this is a little bit low on its own. So it does not have the ability, it does not have feet. It would be nice, you know, if something sat on there and you could actually put it on the counter, but it does not currently exist. So in the end, it's a sink bridge and it's there to bridge the sink. So I want you to notice that they are very adjustable, and we're going to show you how they adjust. But I have a couple of ponds here, and then we're going to move to the sink to show you which ones fit the sink. But I will let you know that the Naniwa fits this pond that you can get at your local restaurant supply. And it only fits this pond long ways. This, I have adjusted it every which way, and I have a pond over here if I can get it in the shot. So it will only fit this pond long way. It does not currently have the ability to fit the pond short. If I were to turn and like make this adjustable to its lowest possible setting before it hits a piece of metal down here, it cannot go this way. Of course, you can just sit it there, but it doesn't have the ability to secure. So what's there to say? I mean, it only works here. And I'm going to go ahead and give you a little disclaimer. You'll see when you sink, it does not fit my sink. My sink is a gourmet farm sink, and you will see it shortly in the video, but it does not fit my farm sink. I do think that my farm sink is probably a little shallow from front to back. And if my farm sink was about 2 millimeters deeper, it would fit. But currently, as it stands in my house, this particular bridge that's all metal with no legs only fits this pond this way. Can't sit it on my counter, can't fit it in my sink. I can sit it in this pond. Okay. Let's go over to Bob Kramer. Bob Kramer, which sits so perfectly on the countertop. Doesn't move. I mean, it's boom. It fits on the pond. Okay, so it fits amazing on the pond. And I have used it for 7 years, and I've not had a problem. But the Bob Kramer does not fit. If I shrink this all the way down, it does not fit on the pond short way. So let's see if I can get this done here for a second. Yeah, so if I go like this, that's as small as I can make it, and I can sit it there, but it is not secure and it will rock back and forth. Okay, so we like the Kramer. The Kramer fits the sink amazing. You will see that shortly in the video. So let's jump over here to Tojiro. Okay. Tojiro. It is adjustable. It adjusts all the way down. And it cannot fit on the inside of the pond, but because it has the feet that lets it sit on the counter, it does have the ability to attach from both sides, and you can then tighten so it doesn't rock back and forth. There you go. So that is nice and secure. The Tojiro fits the sink bridge long ways. The Tojiro sink bridge fits the entire thing this way. Again, it's adjustable. So let me make sure I've got that. So it fits it this way. And I can guarantee you with the sink, the distance that it is, it fits perfectly in the sink. So as it stands, the Tojiro fits every single thing. It fits the counter. It fits it long ways on this pond and short ways on that pond, and it fits the sink. The Tojiro is literally amazing. We'll get into the price points in a little bit. All right. So after we get rid of the Tojiro, let's go over here to Suehiro. So the Suehiro, remember, it fit on the counter. It is adjustable. It's pretty big. So it will go on here as far as like sitting just on the inside. So that's great. It sits long ways. when you go to put it on the short one, it doesn't, like, you actually have to put it over the top. You can't, you have to expand it and then sit the legs just inside, but it won't move back and forth. So this will fit the counter, even though it slides a little. It will fit the sink, my sink at its depth. It will fit long ways, and it fits short ways, but it fits short ways in an odd way. But again, doesn't move, okay? So when we go over here to the Kasfly, so the first thing I'll point out is that this Kasfly, it fits this short way, okay? So, and here's what I want to point out. This one will fit short, and I'm going to grab a normal size stone. So let's grab the Super Stone by Naniwa. I'm able to fit a normal stone in there, okay? And I have room to adjust for the stones to be bigger. Okay, this is important. Okay, now if I go to make this bigger and expand it all the way, they screw opposite directions, and it's hard for me to remember that, like, while I'm doing this. Okay, so am I not getting it? Oh, so that's something to point out as well. I'll show you this. So I cannot fit this in this pond because it is not long enough. I will tell you that it fits my sink, which you'll see. But one of the things you just saw happen was I could not get this to move back and forth. And the reason is, if you're putting any pressure on the two stones, so let me get some things out of the way. If you're putting any pressure on the rods, this won't slide. If I like push in, it's like frozen. So if you were to adjust this and get it tight where you're squeezing it in, you actually have to undo both to move it back and forth. Okay, so I just wanted to point out, I will tell you that it fits the sink. Okay, so the Kasfly, as amazing as it is, I do want to point out a couple of things that I really like. These bolts are amazing. Okay, they just, I mean, if you can do something right, it's amazing. I mean, this thing is a tank, but the way that they adjust is just so awesome. I mean, everyone could learn something about this bolt system. So anyway, so we have that. Let's go to the off-brand. The off-brand, it fits short ways. Here's the problem. If I expand this to be as big as possible and move it back, a standard size stone will not fit in it. So on this pond, this stone in this knockoff version of the Kasfly will fit it basically because the fittings are so thick and the Kasfly is so much smaller that by the time it moves back far enough, it doesn't fit. Now, if we want to cheat, what we could do is we could move this, put it over the top, and tighten it this way, just like we did on the Suehiro. And then in doing that, we've got it not moving back and forth, and we are able to get it to fit. Okay? So the knockoff is hanging tough. It's got the legs. It's got the ability to hang in there. But just like the other, it does not have the ability to go on the pond. Let's see. If I get it as far as I can get it. Nope, I can't get it on here. So once again, it does not fit on the pond. All right, so let me just go ahead and point out all the different sink bridges that we have here. So currently, we have the Tojiro, and as you can see, it comfortably fits in the sink. We also have the Kramer, which comfortably fits in the sink. Then we have the Kasfly. This thing weighs a ton, but comfortably it adjusts. It fits in the sink. All right. We have this DMD Tools, and it is the knockoff of the Kasfly, and it is adjustable and it fits in the sink. Then we have the Suehiro, and the Suehiro has adjustable legs, it expands, and it fits in the sink. The only one, and I want to make sure that I don't knock Naniwa, the only one that does not fit in my sink is the Naniwa. Here's the problem. My sink is cut 1 millimeter shy of the amount of space it takes. When this goes in, it literally misses by 1 millimeter. I cannot make it shrink anymore. There is a lip on the sink, and we measured it. If the lip was gone, it would fit. And if you have a standard sink, this sink is only 15 and about 3/4 inches. And your standard sink is about 16 to 16.25 and deeper, which means the Naniwa would fit comfortably in the sink. So I did just want to point out that this Sinkbridge does fit here. So of everyone that we're testing here today, without a doubt, all of them, except for this one, for me, but all of them do actually fit in the sink. Okay? So there's that. Okay, so let's look at what these cover real quick. If you're on the Tojiro, you can fit, let's get it all the way back. So this will just fit any stone with a base. It will fit a normal size stone. It will fit an oversized Dabato stone. And it will fit a Japanese natural stone because it has the ability to slide up. Now, you can see here, only the Japanese natural stone, if it slid all the way up, it couldn't support it. All the other ones it does. I will also point out that the Suehiro and the Tojiro are so smooth, even the Naniwa, that you actually have to put, I would do it. If you don't put a stone holder, put a mat. You know, it keeps things from sliding. So if you put a stone on there, you have a little traction. The Kasfly is going to fit every stone. The knockoff is going to fit every stone. The Kramer fits every stone. The Tojiro fits every stone except for the very short. So there's lots of pros and cons for all of these, and you're going to see in just a second which ones fit in the sink. If you have a stone holder, the stone holder does not fit on the Tojiro. You don't need the stone holder because your stone will fit there directly. Your stone holder does fit the Naniwa. You don't need it on the Bob Kramer because it has its own device. You don't need it on the Kasfly because it's already built in. You don't need it on the knockoff because it's already built in. Okay? So you're going to see in a minute the sink, and we'll go from there. I want to take a moment to point out the 3 stone holders. This is a knockoff brand. It is $15. This is the Naniwa. For all intents and purposes, the Naniwa is bulkier and it has some feet that really sit it off the ground. And if you sit it on the ground and you sit the other one next to it, this one sits lower. They both do the same thing. This one's like $34 to $39. This one's $15. I mean, I don't need to pay another $20 for it to say Naniwa. I'm not saying it's not better. You just feel like the $20 you got. But it does sit higher, and if you're only using these, they both sit on the counter. But if you need to save the $20, save the $20. This is on Amazon. It's Prime Pick. Link will be in the description. Links will be in the description for every single one of these things. And then the last one here real quick, I'll point out the Suehiro. It is 2 pieces. It is rubbery. If you put it on here and you got a stone, this will make this work because then I can tighten up and boom, I've solved my problem. Okay, this is $14 or less. Chef's knives to go. All right, this works on this one as well. And it's gonna work on the Suehiro. The only thing it's not gonna help you with on the Suehiro is it does slide around a little bit. The Suehiro has nothing to kind of brace it. So this is Suehiro and this is Suehiro. You would have thought they would have had that worked out. This is really good on the other ones, and it's good if it's on the counter by itself. To put 2 stones, you have the ability to just get it off the counter. So that way, when you put your knife down, your knuckles aren't, you know what? And it might be that your knuckles still hit, you know? And your knuckles still hit. I would tell you that about this. This one, the inexpensive one, you got this down on the ground, you go to do a knife, you're fine. Knuckles, you're good. This one, I think you're going to be good. The Naniwa sits higher. In the end, $15. I think we have your pick. I'm not bad-mouthing Naniwa. It's a great product. I'd save your 20. You're going to need it. This is expensive. It's a rabbit hole. We all know that. The Kasfly, the beast, the one that everybody wants to know about. Is it worth the money? It's beautiful. It's the Porsche. It's the Ferrari. You know you own it. It's awesome. Yeah, it needs legs. If it had legs, it would be the ultimate. Let me tell you your winner, folks. I am not a Tojiro fan in any way, shape, or form. And it breaks my heart in a weird way. I don't know why to tell you I'm not a Tojiro fan. It's a long story. It's the winner. It's the winner for me. It doesn't need to be the winner for you. It's the winner for me. It does the pawn this way. It does the pawn that way. It's got the legs here. You know, I can put all the stones. This Dabato, wide as it is, so comfortable. I'm sorry. It's $50 less than the Kasfly. Buy a stone. I mean, come on. All right, so let me just take a step back. And before I declare a winner, let's talk about some prices, okay? So on the Naniwa, I think it's about $74. Okay, so we said it didn't fit my sink, but it probably will fit every single sink. It fits the pond long ways, but not short ways. And it cannot sit on the counter. $74. The Kramer by itself already beats the Naniwa. The Kramer has adjustables that adjust better than the Naniwa for adjusting the stone. It has feet that do not move on the counter. It goes long ways on here, and it can go short way on here. Let me just double check that while I got you on here. Short way. Nope, it does not go short way. So that is an issue as far as that goes. But for the 50, so it fits my sink, it fits the bridge long, it fits the counter and doesn't move. It does not fit this short ways. $54. So they both can't go on the short one. $20 cheaper. It's already better than the Naniwa. The only problem you'll ever have with the Bob Kramer is that if you over tighten the bolts, you will break the bamboo, the faux bamboo. There is a copycat of this on Chef Knives to Go. I think it's about $35. It's a good investment. The dimensions are slightly different. I think it's a little bit more narrow. But the Bob Kramer at like $55. Excuse the yawn. Sorry, it's kind of late filming this. But the Naniwa around $55 beats this by 20. Let's go over here to the Kasfly. This is the beast at $170. Okay, it feels like a tank. It will be around after World War III. In nuclear war, the Kasfly will still be here. The bolt system on it is amazing. The adjustables, it fits every single stone. It does not fit this particular pond long ways. It does fit short way. It does fit the sink. It does go on the counter, but you will have to buy some feet. For $170, to me, it's a little bit of a downfall that it doesn't have the feet that I'll have to go to Lowe's and get, but it's a pretty inexpensive thing to buy. And then all of a sudden you have a beast. Fits every stone. It really does live up to the Porsche kind of a thing. It's $170. Do you need it? When the Bob Kramer, it's not as sexy, but for $55, it does not slide when this one does slide. It does fit this. This one doesn't fit this. This one fits that. This doesn't fit that, but they both fit the sink. $120 cheaper? $120 cheaper? Okay, let's go to the knockoff. The knockoff will fit. Both of these will not fit this bridge. They both fit the sink. They both go on the counter, but the knockoff doesn't really slide. Okay? $44 versus $170. I mean, it's a $130 difference for something that does pretty much. It does fit on here where it straddles long ways and comes back. If you do it the normal way that the Kasfly fit, it doesn't do that. It will sit on there, but the only stones that'll fit are the Japanese stones. But it will go over and it will straddle this way. So you literally come in from the other side, you undo the bolts, you come in like this, you make it nice and tight. I'm sorry, $130. $130, I mean, let's get real. That's a lot of money. It'll hold every size stone, the feet, everything. It fits the sink, it fits here, it fits the counter, slides a little, doesn't hit here. The Suehiro. The Suehiro fits everything. It fits every single thing. So what does that tell you? The Suehiro is pretty damn awesome at $44. Okay, so just so you know, this is $44 on chef knives to go. If you go on eBay, it's $60, $69 shipping. Chef Knife to Go has this for $44. This is $44. Okay, this fits every single thing, but it's slick. It's got the feet. They both slide the same. They both fit on here. They both fit the sink, but only the Suehiro fits the pond this way. The Suehiro has nothing on it. It could have had some spacers on here, easy to attach. That would have been awesome. I mean, it's a mild adjustment. You have a champion. Between the two, I'm sorry, I think I would go with the $44 knockoff, the DMD tools. When we go back to the one that I called the winner, it's sexy. Listen, like I said, I'm not in general a Tojiro fan. Tojiro's kind of like knows about entry level. They have some higher dollar stuff in their knives that are more handmade, artisan. But a lot of people talk about Suehiro in the forums as like entry level stuff. But people who are a Tojiro fan, they're a fan. And Ryan Swanson in a video said they are sharp out of the box. So I don't really know where my bias is exactly. I think I was watching a movie on it, and they kind of like made me just feel like it was a little under. They proved me wrong completely. I'm not afraid to admit it. This Sinkbridge is a Sinkbridge I'm proud to own. You can find this nowhere but Chef Knives to Go. Flat out, $120. It fit every single thing. It does not move on the counter. It fits short ways. It fits long. It fits the sink. It fits the widest stone. It fits every single thing. The only thing it had a problem was on the small stone, there's a space. So whether you like put something in here to like, you could easily put something in here to take up the space, or you could spend the extra 14. So if you think about that, like you spend the extra 14, 120, 14, 134, you're still cheaper than the Kasfly. It doesn't move. It fits everything. The Kasfly does not fit this pond long ways. I mean, I'm sorry. Like the Tojiro one is just, for me, it's the winner. Now, every one of you trying these are going to have your favorites. Let's go back to something real quick. Like I said, all of these fit every stone. Okay. This one, like by itself, this one slides because there's nothing to prevent it. This one slides, but there is a catch at the beginning, so it only slides so much. There is a catch at the back, but it's pretty far back, so there's nothing. So the downfall of these two is they both slide, the Naniwa and the Suehiro, 70-something, 40-something. Of the two, this one wins. So let me just give you my picks in order of best to worst, okay? The Tojiro for me is the flat-out winner. It's $120. Proud to own it. I'm so proud to own it. Super happy. The Bob Kramer at $54. Best buy, period. I mean, it's super steady on the counter, sink, blah, blah, blah. $54. Chef Knives to Go makes one. I did not have the year to test it. I cannot guarantee the quality. It's like $35. Okay, so again, it's late. Sorry about the yawn, but it's like $35. So you might want to look into it. Jumping up to 70, not really a call for it. If you're going to stay in the 40, the knockoff over the Kasfly, it really does a lot, I think. But listen, point blank, number 2, period. You put some feet on the bottom of this, I don't want to say it because it's expensive. It's $170. I mean, it's hard not to give it number 2. This one can't fit on here short. This one can't fit on here long. This is the beast. This I could break over someone's head. It did crack, the bamboo. This will never crack. This will be here forever. This one needs feet. This one needed an adjustment once it cracked with some bolts. So they both needed something that were $2 from Lowe's. This is $120 more from that. And this one could break, what, a couple of times, and I buy 3 more in my life. So technically, this would still be number 2. Then you get down to number 3. Do you go, I mean, $44 versus $170. If you put the rubber feet on here, you go here. It's a $2 investment on something you already spent $170. It beats it over quality. Now, I didn't talk about the bolts on this are actually tight, and they don't move like as freely as they should. There's one on here that's actually kind of broken, and I need to just throw that one away. This is 100% quality. It is 100% made to be absolutely amazing. So I got number 1, number 2, number 3. So in case you didn't hear, that's Tojiro 1, Bob Kramer 2. Kasfly free if you add feet. If you don't, you jump all the way to number 4, which is the DMT. Then after that, I'd probably go between the Suehiro and Naniwa. This is $30 cheaper. Only thing I don't like is it doesn't have any stoppers. So with it, you end up needing something. The Suehiro on here doesn't really work that great. The Naniwa on here works great. It slips less. I kind of put the Naniwa last. You're going to leave comments, hate me, whatever. Please don't hate me. Just put your list on there. I'd love to see in your comments your order. As far as like the stone holder, I don't think you need to spend the extra 20. The Naniwa is guaranteed like amazing. I don't know the quality of this rod, so we'll know in a year or so. I'll do an updated version. But I think you can save the $20 on the stone holder. I do think that if you get the Tojiro, you should order a stone holder, not the stone holders. This has the adjustable. If you're using natural stones that are odd sizes, only then do you order these Suehiro that go in the middle for wedges. And there you go. So that was a very detailed, probably too long video, but I hope it taught you something about each of these. I might do individual videos on each one to just profile the equipment. I thank you for checking in with me. I hope this was helpful for all of you sharpeners out there and polishers. This is actually important information. If you're new to knife sharpening, this is a great place to start to let you know what you need. I appreciate you checking in. Please hit that notifications. A lot of you guys are subscribed and you're not being notified. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe so you'll notify when the next video is. Hit the like button, tell YouTube what we're doing. Leave comments to tell me how I can be better. I'm very thankful to have you as an audience. I'm thankful to be able to do this. Hopefully it's doing something for you. So I'm very humble to be standing here and doing this for you. God bless. Thank you very much. Good night.